everybody, Unrested here, and today we are at a place I've never been before with my camera, and that is Himeji. You can see right behind me a facsimile of Himeji Castle, and we're gonna go see today the whole thing up close and personal, and you're gonna get to see the beauty that is the Himeji Gardens. Let's go. So one of the most epic aspects of Himeji is the fact that it was owned by so many different warlords, so many different shoguns, and so many different rulers. And by each ruler it was built up a little bit more stacked on top of another, more layered on top of another. And each one was so paranoid about being invaded that each one fortified the entire place more and more and more until eventually Himeji became one of the most fortified castles in all of Japan. In fact, to this day, it has never ever been attacked by any forces because anyone who came across it just absolutely thought, this is ridiculous, there's no way we could get to the top. The different pathways that get to the top spiral up and up and up, and there's arrow holes for tons of people to shoot down at you. Then on top of that, there's over 10 levels to the entire fortress, and you'd have to go through each one battling samurai to get to the top. So people took one look at it and just turned their whole army around. No one ever attacked this place because over all those different rulers it had been so fortified, a really and truly magnificent castle.
Yo dog, here's your new ride, man. I heard you like dragons on your dragon, so we put a dragon in your dragon so you can dragon.
So the best way to get to Himeji is actually taking, if you're coming from Osaka, Midasuji down to Shin Osaka, and then taking the Shinkansen from there, and it'll get you there in only 30 minutes. Now there's cheaper and longer ways to get there, but using the Shinkansen will take you only about 20 to 25 minutes, which is quite a quick trip when you figure out how far away Himeji actually is. Now, as we get here today, one of the unfortunate things about the time that I am making this video and checking out Himeji is the fact that most of it's under construction right now. Until 2015, there's going to be scaffolding up on all sides. We're still going to be able to enter and give you a look inside, but later, after spring 2014, parts are going to be closed off. So if you do come here to look at it, I suggest maybe waiting until past 2015. Okay, so now we're pretty much waiting in line to get there. It's about an hour wait right now because it's Golden Week here in Japan, so everybody's pretty much on vacation. If you want to take the elevator to get up to the top here, they say it's over an hour wait. So if it's possible for you to climb stairs, they are extremely steep, but I highly recommend you take the stairs. That's what we're going to do right now. It's about a half-hour wait to get in there just for that. So on your way up, check with the ticket counter person and see what's moving the fastest, taking the stairs or the elevator. Today we're gonna go stairway. So right here we're at a spot that was the well of Aliyama, who used to be the chief of actually Himeji a long time ago. This is Edo era. And this is where his maidservant Kiku was charged with breaking one of his dishes and was actually thrown down this well down here, and supposedly to this day her ghost still haunts the castle. So this is kind of a really famous well. What we have here is Aoyama's well, where his maidservant Kiku was thrown down. She was thrown down because apparently she lost one of his finest plates that he had in his kitchen, and he blamed her for the loss of a set of 10 plates, one of which was cracked and misplaced. When it was found out that it was gone, he threw her down the well, and supposedly to this day her ghost continues to count the plates over and over from 1 to 10. And when she gets to the number 10, she starts screaming in madness as it led to her death. Right now we're at the very top, in the absolutely top level. Before, when I came here, you could actually not go this high, you could go to the top floor, but we are literally on the roof of Himeji-jo. And behind me actually there's TVs showing the reconstruction of the external and internal parts of the castle and showing how the bricks are made and stuff like that. So they use the old ancient techniques so that everything can be restored to the most natural looking way it was in the past. So it's really an amazing thing to see all this being rebuilt, and it's also quite amazing to be able to go on the roof for the first time since I've been back here. This is my third time back here, and it's just as enjoyable as ever. I definitely recommend it again. Okay, so there we are. We've got ourselves our own little facsimile, a little tiny model of what the actual Himeji-jo looks like right here. We actually went all the way up to the top, if I can get my finger over there, on the roof, from the elevator down here all the way at the basement bottom. And the reason this whole thing is being redone is actually for the structural integrity when earthquakes hit. It'll keep it standing for ages and ages because, let's be honest, Japanese building structures made for earthquakes are supreme when it comes to the quality. So that's what they're doing right now, reforging it so that the structural integrity is super, super solid. And supposedly they do this every 150 years. So next time we come back here, it'll be totally unsheathed and in its full glory. But for now, you can take a look at this dainty little model. So as you see right behind me here, there is a giant drawing that is on top of the actual scaffolding in front of the castle. And that drawing is what the castle actually looks like. A bit underwhelming just to have a giant illustration of it. Here we are now at the gardens section of Himeji-jo, and these have 9 gardens right here that have been cultured for literally hundreds of years, and that has led to the great fruition of beautiful landscapes and horizons within the park here. And it's absolutely gorgeous. Let me tell you, if you ever get a chance, even if the castle is shut down, you should definitely come just to check out the gardens. When you take a look at what they've got back here, you'll understand why. So, as you can see, these gardens are gorgeous. There's tons of paths to walk on. You can see I'm walking on one right now, right across here. Fishes swimming everywhere. It's great. And I am walking through one of the coolest little paths here in the Take no Niwa, which is, Take is the name of the person who is the administrator of this garden. Niwa obviously means garden. And this is how it's been cultured over hundreds of years, just like the rest of the gardens here in Himeji, next to Himeji-jo. And they're gorgeous, right? You can come here anytime. The garden is, I think, only like 200 yen to see. The castle's 400. I mean, you can't go wrong with that price. $6 total to see these great heritage sites. You should check it out. I'd have to say it's one of my favorite places to go in Japan, all the way from Okinawa to Hokkaido. Check it out, Himeji-jo. Until next time, I'm Unrested. This is JFAQ.